Miss White's Whiz Kid summer reading program was just what we needed. Miss White was willing. Why wasn't anyone else? The anger and disgust tried to overturn my feelings of joy and relief for the accomplishment of this young teen who was headed towards adulthood. I was jumping up and down on the inside and crying on the outside as she walked down the aisle to receive her certificate of accomplishment. Jackie and I sat there with tears washing down our faces. The ceremony was bittersweet. A happy on the outside, crying on the inside sophomore had a desire to learn, but no one had turned aside and put in the hours that it would take to help her gain a fundamental skill that many of us so often take for granted. She just wanted to read. Her reading vocabulary consisted of about 3 words, a, and the. When I gave her a pre-test that consisted of 3 and 4-letter words, she burst out into tears because she was not able to fill in the blanks of those foreign-looking, simple 3 and 4-letter words. It was at that moment that I knew something had to be done. Who had failed her? Who allowed this human being to be passed through 2 school systems, illiterate in the United States of America? I sought help through the school and the community. No one had anything to offer. Their solution was a special education label, LD. The so-called specialist who led the art meeting told me that LaQuinta didn't have the ability to learn. Otherwise, she would have learned to read by now. It took a lot to keep me from lashing out at this ignorant, uneducated woman. I didn't know what to do, but I didn't stop. I sought community agencies whose programs were only for adults. They referred us right back to the school system that had failed her. The trip to Dallas was worthwhile that day. The sign on the corner read, "Whiz Kids, Summer Reading Program." We were grateful. She could read at a 2nd grade level by the end of the summer. We continued our reading journey, and 2 years later, we all sat in the big auditorium as she walked across the stage, proudly showing her teeth and waving her high school diploma. Thoughts and feelings of anger and exhilaration moved over her supporters in the audience. Grandma May. Soon after, she continued her education to become an independent adult with the ability to read her own bills, Bible, and bank statement. I call her a survivor. She is certain that her 4-year-old daughter, Gracie, will never experience the frustration and humiliation that she went through at school on a day-to-day basis. You can't deprive a survivor